Hey everybody, Corey here, coming at you with another knife review video. This time it is of the Kershaw Link. As always, we will start with the usual size comparison. So the Kershaw Link has a blade length of 3.25 inches. Here it is next to an Ontario Rat number 2, which is my conventionally small knife, so you can see it's coming in a little bit smaller than that. And here it is next to my Reich, which is still my big knife since ZT's warranty department is... well, we won't talk about that here. But this is my conventionally large knife with a 3.9-inch blade. So you can see it's more substantial than a Rat 2, but it's certainly not what I would consider to be a large knife. So let's get these off the table. So what do I want to say about the Kershaw Link? The base model, what you're seeing here, I say base because this knife was popular enough to where they came out with a bunch of different versions of it. There's some with aluminum, there's some with, they actually have an M4 blade, but I believe this is the lowest version of it that you can get, which comes with a 440C blade steel. You know, I gotta say, 440C, not that bad. We're looking at about 40 bucks for this thing, and you know, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more, but that's really pretty good for what you're getting here. 440C, absolutely good to go when it comes to an everyday carry blade steel. But what I want to say about this knife is that, you know, first of all, my own personal story, I have no bias for or against this knife because I almost got it for free. I found it brand new at a thrift store for 13 bucks. But again, you can get it online for about 40 brand new in this blade steel with this handle material. So I just thought it was going to be, you know, whatever. This is actually my first Kershaw. I didn't think much of it when I purchased it. As soon as I took it out of the box and I held it, this is really ergonomic. This is really one of the most comfortable knives I have ever held in my entire life. It is up there with the Benchmade Super Freak. I will say the Benchmade Super Freak was a little bit more comfortable, but that's also a $200 knife, and I think the Benchmade was, you know, just the pinnacle of perfection for my hands. Of course, this is going to be subjective because we all have different size hands, but given that this is not an exceptionally large knife, I'm impressed with how well it fills out the hand without being uncomfortable. It doesn't, I don't run into that issue where my pinky's running off the side of it, kind of like the Rat 2. So in terms of ergonomics, this thing is awesome. I mean, look at the edges. You've got this texturing on the handle itself, but all the edges are really rounded. You can see the texturing of that plastic, you know, it still offers some traction, but overall the knife, it's moderately thick and the edges are moderately rounded. I mean, it really feels like a part of your hand. Only thing I could say that I wish they had, a little bit of jimping. My thumb does rest comfortably right about here, but it's very smooth on the spine. I would have liked to see a little bit of jimping there, especially with, you know, how workable this blade is. And let's talk about that next. The blade. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a sucker for belly. And this blade is nothing but belly. When it comes to working knives, especially, you know, knives that I want to open boxes with, do a lot of cardboard processing, this blade shape is just awesome. You can really get in there with those sliding cuts, those forward push cuts with a belly like this. And, you know, I really can't say much more about it. I think it's very functional. Given that it's 440C blade steel, you've got an overall good EDC blade steel, decent corrosion resistance, decent edge retention. Given the ergonomics of it, it definitely lends itself to being an all-day kind of knife. I would have no issue working with this knife all day long. There just aren't any hot spots. Maybe the pocket clip a little bit, but honestly, not bad at all. And then the blade shape, it's very functional. I mean, I hate to admit it, but for 40 bucks, this could be all the knife you ever need. Now, I will say, it's a flipper, and that's absolutely fine, but it is assisted. So it has what Kershaw refers to as their speed safe assist. I don't really have anything against it. What it does do is it kind of eliminates the need for a very good action because, you know, a spring is basically doing the work for you. On one hand, if you want to be a knife snob, that might annoy you because you can't really focus on, you know, the mechanical prowess involved in making a wonderful action. But on the other hand, for an everyday knife, you know, or for an everyday guy who just wants a knife, who cares? I mean, if anything, it just makes it even easier to use, and you don't have to think about the flipping part of it. Some people have said they don't like it because it's kind of hard to close one-handed. As you can see right here, I have no problem with it. You get it to right about here, which is where the spring tension kicks in. Then I just rotate my thumb over, and I close it like that. Very easy. I could do this all day long. The liner lock, the liner itself, about 50% lockup. Extremely easy to access. You can see how much of it is sticking out there. Guys, I was really expecting this knife to not really do anything for me. I thought, oh, great. I got a knife for review for 13 bucks at my thrift store, and it's super cheap, and, you know, it'll just allow me to crank out a review. I hate how much I like this knife. This knife makes me wish that other more expensive knives could get their stuff straight when it comes to like an ergonomic handle or a functional blade shape. Even down to the choil. You know, they put the choil in there, and it goes all the way to the end of the plunge. It's good. It's all you ever need. And honestly, I would actually consider buying this in M4. I believe you can get these in M4, which is a ridiculously, I mean, it's a premium blade steel. It's as high as you can go. And I think they go for like about 90 bucks in the M4 version. Don't quote me, but they're not expensive, right? Like M4, to get it on most knives, you're looking at least 200 bucks. So to get this anywhere near 100 bucks for M4, if you wanted to, it's a really good thing. The pocket clip is reversible. I have no problems with the pocket clip, Kershaw pocket lip. Kershaw Warranty, you know, ironically, I mentioned ZT's warranty. Kershaw is owned by the same company, ZT, so their warranty departments are, I'd be willing to bet they're exactly the same. I'm pretty sure you send the stuff into warranty to the same location, so that would make a whole lot of sense. You know, right now it's kind of slow due to COVID, but, I mean, they have a lifetime warranty, so long as you don't do anything to void the warranty, which is basically just being really stupid with your knife, you got a lifetime warranty, so you'll never really have to worry about this thing. It's hard not to recommend this knife to somebody, and if you like it to begin with, I would definitely recommend getting the upgraded version. The one thing that I'll say, and this is just something that's particular to me, it annoys me with Benchmade, and it annoys me with this. Similar to how, you know, my one complaint with Benchmade overall, when it comes to the axis lock, is that you're dependent on them for Omega springs. So if something goes wrong with your Omega spring, you need to get a new spring from Benchmade. Similarly here, if the Speed Safe spring breaks, the knife is basically inoperable. It is both held open and closed with the spring. So, don't quote me on the open. It might be held open. I mean, it would still lock up, but it would swing freely, and it wouldn't stay closed. I know that it's held shut by the spring. I've seen a broken one of these, and it just wobbles around and floats freely. So, in that regard, if the spring breaks, it's kind of annoying if it's your only knife, because now you're kind of out of a knife until you get it back from warranty. But honestly, that's the only complaint I have. Given how popular this knife was, and given how many models they made, and given how much I actually enjoy it, I can't even say that the spring is enough to tell me, or for me to tell you not to buy it. I highly recommend the knife. And honestly, with the bad luck that I had with my ZT, I thought I wrote off ZT and Kershaw, but because of the link, I would actually consider buying more Kershaws. ZT still has to win me over, but I would give some of Kershaw's stuff a try. This really impressed me. So if you've been on the fence about it, give it a try. Take the plunge, especially if you get it on sale. I mean, I've seen these things go for as low as 30 bucks. If you can do that, go crazy. So I hope you found this enjoyable. Hope it helped you out, and I will see you guys next time.